Associated Press, Carrie.
This is a public communication services collect call from
Stephen Avery.
an inmate at the Calumet County Jail. The use of three-way or call waiting will disconnect the call. This call will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, dial 5 now.
Hello?
Hello, Stephen?
Hi.
Hi, it's Carrie. How you doing?
All right.
Oh, hey, do you mind if I record this phone call?
I don't care.
Okay, just in case I don't get my notes down correctly. Well, why don't you just start out by telling me a little bit, just tell me some of your thoughts on what's going on and what's transpired.
My thoughts? That they're planting evidence on me. And I don't know what kind of evidence they got, or how my blood got in there, in her vehicle. The only thing I can think of is it came from my bathroom, the blood, when I cut my finger. They got it out of there. I guess when they put the keys in the house, they found the blood.
And when did you cut your finger?
Broke it open Thursday night.
The Thursday after she came? Like after Halloween?
Yeah. That's when I seen taillights back by me. But then we turned around and looked and I didn't see nothing, but I really didn't look hard enough.
When you say that they are planting evidence, who do you think, I don't know if you can give me any specifics on who you think it is?
I don't know, probably something to do with Manitowoc County, the old sheriff, somebody he knows, or whatever. Because they know what they look for, so they know what they can plant and where they can plant it. Because I know I would never do nothing like this. I'm innocent with all of this stuff.
Do you think that, I don't know how far, if you've thought about it this far, but do you think that someone killed her just to set you up? Or I don't know if how far you've looked into that, or thought about it, I should say.
I don't know, it's a possibility. But she could still be out there, where it's all set up.
You mean that the evidence that they found is a lie and that those aren't really her bones kind of thing?
I would imagine. If they can't get no reading, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's still puzzling to me.
Now, she had stopped by on Halloween in the afternoon.
Yeah. That was between 2 and 2:30 it was.
And you said, I think that we spoke before, and you said that it was a short amount of time. How long would you say she was there?
It was probably no more than 5 minutes.
And how many times had she been there before that?
Quite a few times. I'd say around 15 times. Maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, I don't know. But it was about a year, a little over a year since she's been coming out.
And did you talk with her much while she was there?
No, not really. It's mostly the same thing over and over. You know, she'd take a picture, write down the serial number. You know, and then I pay her, and she gives me a book and a piece of paper.
I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but how did you feel about her? I mean, I know you probably didn't talk with her a whole lot, but what was your opinion of her?
A nice woman. She seemed, polite and everything else,
Does it upset you, I mean, since you knew her, that this happened to her?
Yes.
Would you say that she was your friend or just an acquaintance?
Well, mostly, just business, But I feel bad for her family and everything.
What was your reaction when, I mean, besides certainly getting anxious because you knew that they were looking at you because her car was found in your lot, but what was your feeling when you heard that this had happened to her?
Well, the first time I heard about it, that the cop was out by the yard and come up by the door, and I'll come up by the door. And he asked me if Teresa was out here taking a picture. Well, I said, yeah. And I told him about 2:30, and that was it of that. You know, I didn't pay much attention about it, you know. But then Friday, somebody came out, some detectives, and I let them in the trailer and everything. They looked around, but then a little while later they left. Because Thursday...
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Because Thursday night when I seen the taillights, me and Chucky, we had to go to Mount Ards and pick up some wood in that. And that's when we turned around, I seen the taillights back by me. And I got back in the truck and we went to Menards. I didn't pay no attention to it, you know. But then Friday night, Chucky went up north with the flatbed, and then he seen the headlights back by him. So he called me up and told me to go down there and check that out by him. So I did. Well, I didn't see nothing, but I didn't pay that much attention just to look around either. And then I called them back and said, I didn't see nobody and everything else. All of this don't make no sense to me yet.
And at what point did you find out that she had been murdered?
And they said they found some bones, that they were hers. I don't know if I seen it on TV or one of the detectives told me. I don't know. I don't remember.
And since you did know her, can you give me an idea of what you were feeling about it?
I told the way I was feeling, there would be no way that should be around. You know, I didn't do nothing. I stuck around. If I would have did it, I'd have ran. You know, but I wasn't scared of nothing. You know, so I stayed around. Whatever they needed, I tried to help them with or whatever. But I still, to this day, it don't make no sense to me.
Has your attorney at all told you about some of the evidence that they found about against you?
No, he said you don't know nothing yet.
Well, maybe he told you about some of the stuff that was in the criminal complaint about the. It sounds like you knew about the key that maybe he told you about that, and then the blood in the car, and from what authorities say that there were a few other things too that it's pretty strong evidence. How does that make you feel?
That they're setting me up pretty good, so I can't get out of it. You know, it happened to me the first time. Now it's happening to me again. I suppose this time they wanted to stick. Because there is a lot of money involved, you know, with my lawsuit and everything else. Yeah. You know, everything was happening just almost together right there. It was all done. Then this started happening. You know, then they took the internet and pictures and that I know of. But some pictures what I had in my bedroom was from my ex-wife when I was in prison the first time.
What sort of pictures?
Well, they were naked pictures that she sent me. You know, you could have them back then. But then my fiance now, she had some on the internet, you know, off the camera, and she took them for me. We took them. So I got something to look at when she's locked up for drunken driving. So that was only for me, what I had.
You know, there was one thing that they had found, and they were taking some DNA off of, like some handcuffs and leg irons.
Yeah.
Were those like for your fiance and you as well?
Yeah, when she got out, but they were never used.
Were they new? Or?
Yeah, they were brand new. Because my sister came with me, and she bought some too.
They had also found some blood splatters, like in the garage and in your trailer. How do you explain that? From your finger?
Well, blood from in the house probably would have been from my finger, because I broke it open, I don't know, quite a few times. I mean, there'd probably be a couple spots in the living room, you know, because when I lay down and everything else on the floor and on the couch, you know, it breaks open. So I suppose there'd be some spots in there. Would that be my blood? In the garage? I don't know. They could have planted some in there. Or whatever. If it ain't mine.
And you know, they had talked about this burn pit, and I think it was in either in back of the trailer or in back of the garage. What was that used for?
Well, I burned some of my garbage, plus my neighbor got some brush, and I burned some brush for him. I told him I'd clean up his mess back there, what he had wood brush, and I had that on the pile, and I burned that. And I burned a couple tires.
Did you do any burning on the Halloween night at all?
Yes, that's when I...
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Yeah, that's when I burned the brushes, Monday night. It was me and Brendan, my sister's kid.
What did you say his name was? Brendan?
Brendan, yeah. But that was only, about 3 hours.
That was just the brush that you burned on Monday night?
Burned some brush and had a couple of tires laying around. And my sister had laying around. I burned them.
And they also talked about this burn...
Burn a barrel?
Yeah, the barrel. And they said they had found some camera and some clothes equipment, or camera equipment and clothes in there. What about that?
And I don't know how that would have got in there, because I haven't burned in there for quite a while. The only thing that was in there that I remember is a case of Mountain Dew and a case of Pepsi, the empty container. That wasn't burnt.
So after Teresa left then on Monday, you said it was between 2 or 2:30 or so, like what was the rest of your day like?
Well, my mom came down with my mail. And my brother came down with Ma's golf cart. Him and what's his name? Can't remember his name.
Friends or something?
Well, they came down because they were out rabbit hunting or something, whatever.
Your brother and a friend?
Yeah.
Was that right? Like, was that, did that happen right after she left?
Well, Ma came down first with my mail. And that was, I don't know, between 2:30 or 3 or something like that. And then they came, I don't know, probably it was after that, but it was before 5 o'clock and that.
How long did your mom stay?
Well, she dropped off my mail, probably, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. Because I sat on a golf cart, so I looked at the mail. And then I went back in the house.
And that's when your brother came?
It was a little while after that. I was outside and I was looking at the snowmobile back in the trailer. And my brother made a comment to me.
And how long did your brother stay?
We stayed, maybe 5-10 minutes. Because we were goofing around and then he had to go look for some rabbits and that or whatever it was. And then he came through again, through the field. And went up in the house.
How long later was that, would you say?
Oh, I don't know. Half an hour, somewhere in there, I suppose.
Half hour later?
Yeah. Before it got dark out.
And the rest of the night?
Oh, I got a call. My fiance calls me between 5, I don't know if it was 5 o'clock, she called me, or 6 o'clock from the county jail. And then she called me at, I think it was 9 o'clock or someplace in there. She called me back. And we kind of got these times set up, so I'd be home when she calls.
Oh, okay. And you said that she's in jail for drunk driving?
Yeah.
And how long has she been in there?
3 months. And she gets out in March.
And then in between her calls, what was there anything particular you were doing?
Oh. Monday night, I had that little bonfire for a couple hours there. Just, I don't know, laying on the couch and maybe eating something. Or listening to some country or something.
You probably haven't heard, but this is kind of a sensitive question maybe, but there are some lawmakers that are sort of citing this situation to try to push to resurrect the death penalty in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
For the people who are guilty?
For the people who are guilty? You think that the death penalty should be?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes not.
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Most time not. Because, you don't want to, kill somebody, then they do the same thing and kill somebody. That's beating a purpose.
Had you heard about some lawmakers sort of citing this situation in their push to resurrect it?
No.
So you wouldn't agree with something like that then, obviously?
No.
So do you believe in people being able to be rehabilitated?
Not from the system.
The system isn't helpful in rehabilitating?
No. you got to do it on your own if you want to do something or change something. If you want to change your life, you got to do it for yourself.
I know that in the past, before your the wrongful conviction, there were some things that I think some trouble you had gotten in. Do you feel like that you sort of did it on your own to help yourself, or did the system help you at all?
No, the system didn't help me at all. I hung around with some wrong people. You know, I had 2 burglaries. And then at the time right after that, I had the people out by my house, and that's how the cat happened. So I took the fall for everything on that instead of them.
There were other people who had done that?
Yeah.
Oh. Who burned? Was it they burned the cat, right?
Yeah.
And you were there, and they charged you with it?
Yeah, I took the blame and everything else. It was their idea and everything else. And
how many other people?
3, 4.
Sounds like there's a lot of things that have happened to you that you've sort of gotten the blame for things that you didn't necessarily do. Does it seem like a pattern to you?
Well, I hung around with the wrong people at that time, and I had to correct myself. I had to get away from them. So that's when I got away from them. Then I stopped getting in trouble. And then this all happened, and I did 18 years and 6 weeks for something I didn't do. And it took that long to prove my innocence. Now it's happening again, and how long is this going to take? You know, if they're setting me up, maybe I can never prove myself. I don't know. But I don't feel like doing time in prison system for something I didn't do again.
Are you optimistic on your chances?
I can go either way. You know, I know they're capable of doing everything. I don't know where do I stand, because I know what they're capable of doing. You know, do I have a chance or not? All I wanted to do was settle down and wait till my fiance got out and got married, and maybe have a couple kids yet. But now that's all up in the air. I don't know which way to go.
Do you feel as though that, I know you said that you kind of go back and forth, but do you feel more that you're not going to have a chance to get past this?
Well, yeah, there's always that chance, because I went through it the first time. No, this chance, I don't know about it. It's what's so scary. You know, you're trying to think, and who's doing this all to you? But nothing comes up. The only thing I can think of is the sheriff, the old sheriff, and all his connections. You know, they know what they'll do. They know what to plan.
How have the last couple of weeks been for you?
Tough. Really tough.
And I think last time we spoke you said that they've been treating you okay in the jail?
Yeah.
I know that we had spoken a little while back, too, before you were arrested, and you said that you had a hard time sleeping. Is that still the case?
Well, The last couple of nights I haven't got too much sleep. You know, I'm trying to think what they're all doing to me. And I just can't make no sense out of it. You know, I get letters from everybody that they say I'm innocent, and that feels a bit better. You know, and
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
and then you find out some people knows the prosecutor and that he's dirty.
Kratz?
Yeah.
Who knows that? Who knows that him?
Some guy, I guess. That he's somebody you don't know nothing about.
That's somehow connected to you?
I don't know. He thinks he's dirty and doing something.
Do you think that the prosecutor's dirty?
Well, that's all it's coming back to again. You know, everybody hears just about him. You know, I hear it first. Now my family's starting to hear it, and it's coming back to the prosecutor.
And you said that you've been getting letters. Are these from, like, people who don't know you or friends and family or both?
People who don't know me.
At the jail they send you letters?
Yeah.
How many letters have you gotten?
I don't know, probably all together, maybe about 20. Somewhere in there.
And are they all supportive? Are there any negative?
No, there ain't none negative. You know, this person called up here who knows the Kratz, and he was going to come up and visit me, but I haven't seen him.
Someone who suspects that he's dirty?
Yeah. But nobody can get a hold of him.
How has your family been through the whole thing? Have they been supportive?
Most of them. Once in a while, my younger brother, you don't know which way to go, or, you know, or his wife. Me and his wife, you know, Candy, we ain't never seen eye to eye since I got out. You know, I talked to her, but that's about it.
You said you talked to her?
Yeah, I talked to her, but that's, you know, as far as it goes, you know.
I mean, like you'll be cordial, but you're not actually friends, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's is that Chuck's wife or?
No, that's Earl's wife.
Oh.
Yeah. Earl had his doubts for a minute, but he changed his tune after, you know, he got less, you know, shook up and everything else.
I'm sorry, after he got over being shook up, did you say?
Yeah. From all the media going after him and everything else. And
what about Chuck?
Chuck? I don't know, sometimes he doesn't know which way to go or whatever. But he always tells me that I didn't do it and everything else, so I work with him, so, you know,
Yeah.
you know, every day.
Would you say that you're the closest to Chuck or to Earl?
I'm probably a little bit closer to Earl, you know, but there ain't that much apart between me and Earl and Chucky.
And your parents?
My parents were close. My sister and her boys are close. Almost everybody in my family, we're pretty close.
Have they come to visit?
My mom did. My Chucky's daughter and her fiancé did. But that was it. Well, visiting's only 20 minutes to 40 minutes, you know. So.
The visiting's only 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And that's like twice a week or something?
Yeah. And I don't like them driving some distance for 20 minutes, you know.
Would you have your brothers not come for any particular reason?
No. No, I like them all to come. It's just, it's harder when they come and they gotta leave.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest part. You know, I'm going through this all over again.
So it sounds as though that everyone's pretty supportive, although Chuck sounds like you said that he isn't quite sure which way to go. Does that hurt that he kind of feels that way?
Oh, yeah. It hurts a lot. But when I talk to him, and then, you know, he tells me that I know you didn't do it. I love you and everything else. You know, it's hard. It's hard for him. You know, because he's another one with the media, and he don't want the media no more and everything else. It takes a toll on him, on everybody.
And I know that I had heard that, you know, your attorney had advised you, you know, not to make too many comments. You know, and I know that now you're talking to me. Do you just kind of feel like you really need to just get your side out there? Is that kind of why you do that?
Yeah. If nobody knows nothing, this their side. You know, what are they going to believe? Their side, because that's all they're hearing. You know, that's why I figured I got to tell my story, at least a little bit anyway. Because it don't make no sense. Even how our vehicle got down there. It had to get down there. Somebody drove it down there. You know, we had a crusher down there. You know, if I would have did it, I'd have crushed it. You know, and got rid of it. You know, why would I do it right on my property? It don't make no sense. Especially after doing all them years. That's why I don't know who drove it down there. Is it when I'm eating?
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
Is it when I'm eating down by Ma for supper that somebody's by me? You know, I go to Menards with my brother. Or, you know, when I leave, I go up by Ma and she got supper ready for me. You know, it's all hard to say. That's why it's so scary. Now I guess my mom and everybody else trying to make up a fund for me. A legal fund.
A legal fund?
Yeah. Yeah, for lawyer fees and bail and everything else.
Have they set it up, or are they still trying?
No, they're setting it up. It should be set up Monday morning.
Do you have any details on it, like the bank or anything?
The Shoreline Credit Union in Two Rivers.
During your preliminary hearing, do you know what you're going to plead?
Not guilty.
Has your attorney advised you on, like, any sort of way he's going to go as far as the...
No, not yet. Because I figured with that fund, you know, some guy wrote me, and he's got almost $25,000 to help me out.
Who is that? Just someone you don't know?
No, I don't know him.
And he offered to give you the $25,000?
Yeah. I think about $400 shy of $25,000.
Wow, how does that make you feel?
Makes me feel a little bit better. That there must be a lot of people out there knows I didn't do it.
And are you able by any chance to give me his name?
Let me look here. Well, he's from Stevens Point. His name is spelled G-E-R-A-L-D.
B as in boy? Or D as in dog?
D is dog.
Gerald?
Yeah. His last name is P-I-O-T-R-O-W-S-K-I.
Piotrowski?
Yeah.
P as in Paul, I-O-T as in Tom, R-O-W-S-K-I?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and you don't know him, huh?
No.
Wow. That's a nice stranger.
Yeah. It really is $24,627.95.
Did he say in his letter, did he just say that he thinks that you're innocent, that's why he wants to give it to you?
Well, he got on there. I'm paying to win.
Wow.
And he sends me, oh, I got quite a few letters from him.
Do you know any, like, is your family, you said you haven't heard from the Hallback family, or have you heard anything from them?
No.
Do you know if your family has heard anything from them?
I don't think so.
Or I don't know if they've contacted them or not. Have you heard of your family contacting them?
No.
What would you say to Teresa right now if you could say something to her about the whole situation?
If she's out there?
Yeah, or just even if she was, if she is dead and if she was alive right now, or if you could say something to her no matter what happened to her.
Well, if she's alive, I'd say, come back home. Don't worry about nothing else. Make your family come first. Because family always comes first. If somebody did something to her, I don't know, it's hard to say. I'm sorry. Sorry for her family, what they got to go through. But I'm hoping that she ain't dead.
The investigators seem pretty sure that the bones and the blood they're both hers. You doubt that? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
I kind of doubt the bones. I don't see nobody going through that much work unless they really wanted to. The blood, you can always draw blood out.
And you said that
This call is from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
When you say you don't see anyone going through that much work unless they really wanted to, you mean to kill her?
Yeah.
You mean to burn her body and everything?
Yeah. And plan it over by me, if that was her bones. I just heard that they had to send it to the FBI lab because they couldn't get a reading.
You said that when she came over that she was always polite?
Yeah.
What did you guys talk about? Anything in particular?
No. Mostly it was the same thing almost every time. You know, sometimes she had to come up at the salvage yard to get me.
Did she ever deal with anyone else there, or was it mostly you?
No, mostly me.
Well, maybe this is a question you've been asked before, and it may seem kind of silly, but, I mean, did you find her attractive?
No. No, I got my fiancé. I don't want nobody else.
How long have you guys been together?
I don't know, a year and a half, somewhere in there.
And have you talked to her since this whole thing happened?
Yeah.
And what are her thoughts? She obviously supports you.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows I won't do nothing like this. Because I love her. I don't love nobody else. I want her. That's why I was trying to get my life back together. I met her, and ever since it was pretty decent. You know, I thought, you know, when I was in prison, I did have a lot of hate in there. But when I left the doors, all that hate was gone. You know? Because then I met up with her. I didn't think I was going to fall in love again, or get married, or whatever. But after I met her and everything changed. You know? And she drank a lot. You know? But I told her, being with me, you can't drink. You got to stop drinking. And she gave it up. You know, she drank maybe a few times, but, you know, you can't cut somebody off just like that anyway. But I was starting to get happy.
How long did it take you to I mean, did you ever get past the prison? I think you were starting to get happy, which almost sounds like you weren't quite there yet.
Well, I figured once I got married, I should be happy then. You know, and I should have everything, you know, what I wanted. You know, I figured, get married, you know, I was coming into all of this money, and I should be happy for the rest of my life. You know, she'll get what she wants, I'll get what I want, and that'll be it. But it didn't come that far. But I still want to marry her.
Do you feel that you've put the whole prison, the 18 years you spent there for the wrongful conviction, do you feel like that you put that behind you, or do you still feel like that sort of sometimes like seeps into your thoughts?
Well, I never thought about it before when I was out. You know, everything was falling in line. I didn't think about it or nothing. You know, I was always thinking about her, or my family, you know.
So once you got out of prison, you didn't think about it anymore?
No. I just had after a little while after I got out, I had to live in an ice shack because it was smaller, and I wanted to be by myself for a while. You know, it lasted a few months. But in a few months, then I met her.
When you said that you had the ice shack because it was smaller, is it because it was small like the cell?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what would go through your head being in prison for so long after 18 years. I can't imagine that, you know, I mean, that can't be easy not to think about it anymore once you get out?
It kind of went away. You know, after I met her, it went away. I didn't think about it no more. You know, that's why I had to live in night shack for a couple months and go from there. Because, you know, then I can stay there and go anytime I want to go. You know, I guess I had to break it in a little bit.
That was by your sister's house?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was over at the salvage lot, too?
Yeah.
Were you ever angry that you were in there for so long? I can imagine that's a normal response.
No, after I got out, I didn't have no anger. You know, it just, the whole problem I had was so big. You know.
I'm sorry, what was so big?
The area.
Oh.
You know, that's why I had to move to the ice shack, because it was maybe too much at one crack. Because after a few months, then I moved into the trailer. And she was living there already.
That's how you met her?
Yeah. Well, I met her at a gas station. And I think it was 30 days after that, she moved out there in the trailer.
Did she know the family? Is that how she moved out there, or how does that work?
No, she knew a girl that knows who owns the place.
Now, you've got an uncle who is at the sheriff's department, is that right?
Yeah. But he's retired.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I saw some story about him that he sort of had, you know, mentioned that there's a lot of evidence against you. It almost sounded like he was doubting you. But I take it you guys aren't too close, or?
This call was from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
I don't know. I never had no problem with him. You know, I can call him and talk to him, or what. But sometimes, you know, he is a cop. He was a cop. You know, he looks at the evidence, you know. And his wife thinks I didn't do it.
You said that his wife thinks you didn't do it, did you?
Yeah, that I didn't do it.
One other time when we had spoken, you had said that you know, that you could never do something like this, and you know, do you feel as though that it would take a particular kind of person to do something like this?
Yeah. It has to be somebody ain't a right mind. There ain't no way I could, you know, kill somebody. That'd be too hard. You know, then you wouldn't know which way to go. I don't know. I can't even think about something like that.
And you don't feel that anyone in your family is involved?
No.
Are you afraid that they're going to, that someone else will be arrested?
I don't see how.
They're still waiting for some tests to come back on some other things found on the property, and the sheriff has said that they're not ruling out arresting anyone else, and they say that their main people of interest are your family.
It's always been my family, me and my family. It's been like that since Kazurek got in office.
That's the old sheriff?
Yeah. Since he's been in office, it's not but the Averys and me. And now I find out it's Manitowoc County and Calumet County are hanging around each other. They know each other. You know. So I guess the Calumet County has got to do the dirty work of Manitowoc County. There's some connection with it.
Where does the connection come in? Have you figured that out yet?
Well, I know half the people go there, they party together and everything else.
Is that like the law enforcement?
Yeah. And they play jokes on everybody else, and you know they do all kinds of stuff, I guess. I'm still trying to figure it out, pin it down to who's got something to do with this. You know, and everybody else is getting feedback and everything else. Who can, you know, there was supposed to be a cop who put the vehicle down in there. But I don't know if the investigator, you know, checked into that or what.
You had heard that a cop had done it?
Yeah.
Was it a sheriff's deputy or a local police officer?
I don't know that.
They also found some spent rifle shells on your garage floor.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you know anything about that?
I see Bobby, my sister's kids. You know, they shoot off the gun, and a lot of times they leave them lay. You know, sometimes I pick them up, I throw them in the garage. You know, just to get them off the grass for like the lawnmower and that.
Okay. Well, I guess that goes over a lot of the questions I wanted to say. Is there anything that you would want to say to the Hallback family?
I'm sorry. I hope they can get over this a little bit. I wish all the happiness for them. You know, because I do feel sorry for them. You know, who won't? I mostly do.
This call was from the Calumet County Jail. This call may be monitored or recorded.
You know, we're all hurting. To this day, it still don't make no sense why we all have to hurt. I wish the truth would come out. You know, who's ever doing this to me? And they should speak. You know, let me get on with my life again, instead of hold it back again. So they can put their minds at ease and know what happened.
Let's say the worst case scenario happened, and you certainly this is looking past a lot of things that still need to happen. But the worst case scenario would be that you would be sent back to prison. I can't even imagine what sort of how that must feel to you.
I don't know if I can handle it again.
How would you get through it?
I don't know. And I got no idea. I don't know if I could. You know, how can I do a life bill for something I didn't do? suffer.
Do you feel like you're being punished for something?
Yeah, but I don't know what. You know, why has Manitowoc County got it all in for me and my family? I don't know.
Are you religious at all?
I went to church when I was younger, but I really never got into it too much.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for taking my call and calling me. I suppose that you must have a lot of newspapers and everything trying to talk to you, huh?
No, they're shut off from up here.
Oh, so you haven't talked to any other media people?
No.
Well, I appreciate you chatting with me, and the way the Associated Press works, which I kind of explained in my letter, is that we do distribute newspaper stories for newspapers and for TV and radio stations to use.
Uh-huh.
So this will be distributed to everyone in the state and possibly to the nation.
Okay.
After I write my story, and I'm going to try to write it today and tomorrow and have it finished by the latest tomorrow, so newspapers and everyone can use starting Monday.
Okay.
But thank you so much. And is there anything that you want to add before we end the conversation?
I wish I was out of here already. So I could be with my family. And I thank everybody out there who believes in me. Because if they believe in me, they're right. I think that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you again for your time, and take care, and we may talk again, I don't know. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.